Uh, yeah, thanks. Justin Punter here. Happy Halloween, guys. It's been another year, and I now everyone's like, "Where's Interstellar Pilot?" And I just got to come out forward and say, I'm probably not doing that no more. I got kind of bored of the game. You know, eventually you play the game a bazillion times and you're done, right? It'd be like someone asking, "You gonna make another Mario Brothers video?" You know, Super Mario Brothers from like the 80s? No, I'm done. I haven't played that game either in well over I think 3 decades. I had a pair of rats that had tumors and died. Um, Opal and Amy. They only lived about 2 years. These are the new girls I got from a shelter. One of these guys is Liz. The other clone, the other albino is Ellie. So Liz and Ellie. The one that's hiding is this is Joe. Say hi, Joe. Joe says hi. They're still new. They're still very young, and they're still a little skittish and shy. I'll probably get dumped on in a couple minutes because they might be a little nervous. So, happy Halloween from me and the girls. Hi, girls. Be spooky. Come on, say something spooky. Attack the camera. Get him. Look at her go. There's a scare for you, huh? Happy Halloween, dudes. Peace out. Enjoy. I guess this is part 2 to the same video I just did for Halloween, which I'm going to roll together with the previous one. Couldn't keep the rats on me because, they're young. They're only about 3 months old. Despite the fact that they've been well socialized from Lollipop Farm, I am still new to them. So, with new people, rats tend to get a little skittish, and their first defense when they're nervous is to pee or poop. And I don't want to get dumped on or pissed on, so it already happened before twice. So thankfully, having been to the Philippines, married to a Filipino, I was taught how to do some hand washing with clothes. So I was able to manually wash this. Just do some spot washing. Pretty easy, you just do like a little dab of detergent, lots of water. Not a lot of water, I guess, for a spot. And then you kind of rub the material together against itself, okay? And then you just kind of maybe rinse it. Then you kind of wring out the excess fluid. And then what you're going to do after that is you're simply going to hang it up to dry. I have this lovely fan right there. That's perfect. I got this little, chair here, this little cruddy chair that I sit at with my tiny little desk when I was a kid. It's like an old desk my dad made me when I was a kid. But this chair works out perfectly for this small desk. And I just hang the material over here, and it gets blown from the fan here. Woof! And boom! And before you know it, my dirty clothes are now clean enough for me to wear again. But anyway, so Amy and Opal were 2 rats that I had previously. Opal died just about, I want to say last month, and Amy died maybe around 4 to 5 months prior. Now, I initially got those 2 from a local pet shop. I'm thinking, there's no way if they're from the same litter. There's no way. One's gray, totally gray. I think they refer to them as selfs, kind of like self blue, self gray, self meaning entire body is covered in a single color coat. Okay. The other one was like what you call a hooded rat, but she was only partially hooded with like her head was slightly grayish. The rest of her body was white. And she was a big girl. She got pretty hefty and bulky, Her sister, Amy, remained relatively tiny, okay? So, what happened after, had them for about 1.5 years. And then, I'm holding Amy one day, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you've got a lump, down there, Yeah, female rats are very prone to mammary tumors, okay? It sucks. That's life, c'est la vie, I guess, right? And, So I'm hoping maybe I can figure out a way to nick this thing in the bud. Again, not to make an excuse, but I have epilepsy. I don't work. Okay, so it's my little bro and my little sister, my little stepsister and half brother who are providing for the rats. They provide the material as the food you see here, right? And here's a thing of shavings right there. Don't know if you can see them, but bag of shavings, right? Good stuff. And but as far as going into a vet and working on a $5 animal, okay, for $100 a pop, okay, because it's not just the consultation, it's the surgery, and that's how you're normally going to treat a mammary tumor in a rat, especially a mammary tumor that's probably going to be benign. Most of them are going to be benign, but the problem is they still grow. They still can get ginormous, and these things kill the animal slowly by demanding more and more oxygen, nutrients, that kind of thing. If you ever watch the anime Cells at Work, there's a little thing about cancer, where the character in Cells at Work, the body gets cancer, and the cells go to attack the cancer. And it's explained that, yes, these cancer cells, just like every other cell in the body, needs oxygen, fuel, okay, blood supply. So this tumor's taking up all those things, which slowly starves the rest of the body, the brain, the heart, from necessary nutrients, necessary oxygen, necessary energy. So Amy starts to die slowly, and who knows? I hope it wasn't painful. She didn't seem to be in pain, but that doesn't mean anything because rats are rather stoic. If they're in pain, they typically don't show it unless the pain is extreme. Okay. Ended up burying her behind Whitehaven Memorial Park in Pittsford, New York, way deep in the woods. So if you're watching this from Memorial Park, if you work there and you're like, whoa, you can't do that, relax. It was off your property technically, deep in the woods. You won't even bother, you won't even know or realize that even happened. It's not going to be a big deal. If you're into a little brick near a tree, just chill out. Okay? That's all it is. Not even a 1 foot deep hole covered by dirt and a brick. Okay? Near a tree marked with a little scratch on the bark, which already healed over, so chill. Okay? But anyway, back to the point where I didn't think these two were related. They could not be the same rat. I'm sorry, from the same litter of rats. Couldn't be any more wrong. Shortly after Amy died, I had picked up Opal. Same lump in the same exact spot on the other rat. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Genetics don't lie, folks. Same disposition to tumors, same exact spot, in the same exact place. Same type of tumor, mammary, benign, same exact spot on the body. Same side of the body, too. That's what I'm getting at. Okay. And just like her sister, she went the way of the dodo, and thankfully I managed to find a spot next to the other spot where I buried the other one, where I buried Amy. Buried Opal next to her sister. This time for a marker, I found like a huge piece of like concrete. Well, not too big, I guess. Like the size of my head. The size of like a piece of concrete to mark the grave, and to keep the dirt from being, untouched by animals that want to scavenge up a dead meal, So anyway. So dealing with rats that had tumors put me in kind of a bad disposition for the year. so I haven't been online because of it, or not online, but on YouTube doing videos. And kind of let things go in my room. You know, things got dusty and bad. Room needs some cleaning now at this point, heavy cleaning. You know, I can show you some examples. Not probably best if I don't. It's bad. There's like clumps of dog hair and dust bunnies, and you know, everything needs to be dusted and cleaned off. You know, here I'll show you something simple. Something simple, right? Watch that. This is my medicine area. My bowl for cross and mixing Kepra for my epilepsy. This is orange juice where I mix in some magnesium to help my brain relax. A bunch of powder from where I would take a pudding cup with pudding in it to mix in the powdered Kepra. To put in there, you mix it up, blah, blah, blah. A lot of stuff tends to fall outside of the container of pudding, and there's some cinnamon powder because I mixed some cinnamon in it to help balance my blood sugar. Okay. All things told, I have to clean that off at least, you know, twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, depending. And even then, you can tell it looks like a wreck. So there you go. That's been, I think, like my last year or so, basically. So I'm thinking I'm unworthy of having a pet because, you know, of what happened, you know. You know, on and off my mom's like again, live with my folks because because I don't work. Being taken care of by my stepsister, my half-brother, my mom, and there you go. So thank goodness I have them, right? Because that's awesome to have family to love you that much and take care of you. So mom's like, hey, you know, how about another pet? How about another rat? How about more rats? And I'm like, you got to give me a little while here. So end up with 2 babies from a local pet shop. Didn't go very well. We got them home, and you know, one of them has a little dropping. And I'm curious because you know you got to look at the droppings, right? That's how you tell if an animal's healthy. Sometimes is look at the droppings. And I'm looking, and I'm like, it's a weird white speck in her dropping. That's not normal. Right, guys, let me pause for a bit. I got a med pickup to do right now downstairs. Brother just came home with it, hopefully. See ya. So where was I? Ah, that's right. Wait. Might still be a... So, like I was saying, white fleck in a little dropping. And I'm looking at it going, I hope that's not what I think it is. So I've had experiences before with other rats that I've had that, and let's be realistic here, they're also prone to worms, specific kinds of worms, okay? Specifically white thread-like worms that, you know, dwell inside the intestinal area and come out to play occasionally, okay? And had a bad experience with these things myself when I was a kid, and therefore I have like a slight aversion to it, despite the fact that the veterinarian who checked them out one time said, look, they are species specific, you can relax, meaning you can't catch them, you can't get sick from them, they're not going to live inside your body. They can't, they won't. Okay? So chill. Basically. But for me, it's not about that. It's about this mental block that says, ooh, you know, so. And lo and behold, you know, I'm still thinking, what's that fleck? What's that white speck there in the dropping? All of a sudden, I look on the side of the tank. Boom. Almost as if to answer my question, there's another dropping, which was mostly worm and not so much dropping. It was like a worm explosion happened on the side of the tank. you know. And immediately I'm like, this is no good. Call the place up and say, look, can you guys help me with any kind of veterinary expenses that this will set me back for? Nope. Can't do it. Cool, no problem. We, of course, took them immediately back to the pet shop and returned them and obviously got a refund. Cool, okay, no problem. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to drop names of the pet shop because, to be fair, it's probably not, realistically not their fault. It's probably not their fault. It could be an irreputable, it could be a bad breeder, and it could just be, it doesn't even have to be bad sanitation conditions either. It can just simply be that these eggs from these worms can stay in the area for a long time and still be viable, even in egg form, for quite a number of months. Yeah, I think it's months. So unless you are meticulous about your cleaning habits, and I mean very meticulous, there's a good chance that your stock of rodents could be wormy. Now, the good news is, according to the vet, you know, rodents can live with loads of worms in their bodies for a regular length of life. It's just gonna depend on the severity of the load. A light load, no problem. But I was told, heavier loads of parasites in the body is a cause for concern and should be treated. So as a heads up, if you have pet rats and suddenly you realize there's something squiggly coming out of the, down there, right? Okay, get them checked out. Have a tape test done. Not just a tape test. You'll learn what that is if you look it up. I'm not going to explain a tape test. Okay. They're going to want a sample. Okay. If there's nothing in the sample, do a tape test. That's going to be more determinate. Okay. And then if it's a heavy load, you're going to want to get them treated. Then after that, it's clean, 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 clean. Keep the environment clean, like meticulously clean, like, super clean, okay? We're talking the whole full Monty clean, okay? Like a lot, often clean. So I did this with the set of rats I had before I had Opal and Amy. The ones I just told you about that I buried in the cemetery, okay? Ruth and Rose. Those guys. Which I had when I first moved here to Pittsford, okay? Who were already old to begin with. Now I'm wondering if maybe their bodies eventually did manage to kill the parasites, because the immune system can do it. Okay, but my part was clean, 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 clean. Something I'm not that good at to begin with, but, hey, a guy can learn, right, when he needs to. Dim the lights a little bit in here. That's better, less glare from the sun. There you go. We'll kill this too. We don't need that. That's better. Okay. So, fast forward, I'm a little paranoid right now, thinking, I just got 3 new babies. They're great. One's drinking water right now. See that? One's sleeping. Other one's probably in the box taking a nap. So that's pretty cool. But where I was going with this is that on top of just the rodents, this local shelter gives you something that, in my opinion, should make the pet shops squirm in their boots. Because this, because in my opinion, this is something that every pet shop should be doing, because it's offered by a shelter. free health examination certificate. Basically, you're going to get a regular examination by a veterinarian, okay? Free examination by any participating veterinarian. Now, of course, it doesn't include things like, meds or operations, blah, 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 blah. It's just a checkup, granted, okay? But it really goes to show you what I've been missing out on, because every single rodent I've had, I got from a pet shop up until today. This was the first time going to a shelter to get my animals. My thinking was maybe the shelter does a bit of a better job with veterinarian care, healthy living conditions for the animals to live in. Okay, maybe better screening. Guys, I go into this place, to look at these animals about like 2 days ago. Maybe 3 at this point. It might have been 3. Who knows? I don't know. And they got volunteers. One's a young girl, and one's a young boy. And I go into the small animals section, which is blocked off by a door, so nothing else can get in there, right? Except for humans. And they kind of recommend, please no dogs in this area. Okay, makes sense, right? Cool. Okay. They got a turtle. They got a ferret. They got a bunch of rats. They had like 2 males, 2 older females, and 6 baby girls, which were split up into 2 groups of 3, which I picked up one of those groups. The 2 older females I was kind of interested in, but I guess one of them had like a nipping problem. So I'm like, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I'm experienced, but I'm not that good. I no longer have the mental capacity I once had, or the patience I once had, to fix the nipping, baby problem. And like I've told people before online, if you get a rat and it nips, something's not right in its head. Send it back to where you got it from, because it shouldn't be your problem. Okay? A proper pet rat will not bite you. It might occasionally give you a test, what I call a test nibble on your fingers, just to double check, are you food or not food? Once they get to, know your smell, they will no longer go after your fingers or your hand. Not even to test. As they get older, they might make mistakes because there might be a little bit touched in the head, and they might grab you kind of hard thinking, I thought you were food, I'm sorry, Had it happened to me, but they typically let go, realizing their mistake. So far, these 3 have been gentle as lambs, and I'm like, it's awesome. And that's how it should be. That's how, domesticated rats are. They've been referred to by people online as pocket puppies because they act like puppies. They also act like cats. They clean themselves like cats. They're sociable like dogs. The only difficulty is you can't use them to guard your house because they're so tiny, and they make almost no noise, typically, unless they're playing and they start play fighting, okay? In which case you hear a little bit of squeaking. That's about it. And if you're awake during the daytime like normal people are, the only other downside is they're typically mostly nocturnal, so when you're awake and ready to go, they might not be. Thankfully, I'm nocturnal too, so perfect. I get to hang out with them when they're awake. But yeah, so really a shout out to, let me just pull that up again, Shout out to Lollipop Farm. Okay, there's the address right there at the top, guys. Rochester. 99 Victor Road, Fairport, New York. 14450. There's the phone number. If you're in the area and need a pet, cat, dog. They even have farm animals, goats. I've seen them with cows before, I think, in the past. Horses, ponies, rats, rabbits. I saw turtles there when I was there. Yeah, last time I was there, I saw turtles. 2 turtles. Mentioned a ferret, didn't I? They had pigeons. They had 2 pigeons. Okay? One there to do the pickup for the animals, after the paperwork was already completed, and one lady was waiting there for a cat. We asked her what kind of cat. A little black cat. You know, it's cool, you know. Hey, but you can't go around here to a pet shop that I know of and get a free health checkup with a vet. You just can't do it. Lollipop Farm goes, oh, by the way, we have this free health checkup. Not just for one animal, but all three. We're talking a potential cash value of like, let's say the examination itself is like $50 or more on average. That's a value of over $150 saved on their initial checkup with the vet. Now, again, like I said before, though, in order to fix anything that might be wrong with them, which doubtful because they look like they're in great shape, they really do. And I've been checking their droppings, at least a little bit of a visual from far away. And they've had accidents. They've had accidents, okay, so far. They've had multiple accidents, and all their droppings look very clean. So I'm in high spirits so far. So hoping to take advantage of the examination and maybe ask for, hey, can you guys throw in a tape test along with the examination, because what good's an exam if you don't check out the droppings, right? Just, again, paranoia, I know, but that's how it is at the moment for me. So anyway, so I just wanted to give you guys that background information, how I just lost Opal and Amy over the course of the summer. Amy in early summer, and then finally I think it was like Opal, who was like basically in mid to almost late autumn. It might have been even, I think, in August, early August, I think maybe she passed away. So then with the tumors, I was gone, man. I was gone. I was just gone. I was just like, whoosh. I clocked out, man. I just clocked out mentally, emotionally. Okay. Happens. That's what happens when you have a pet that you love, it's sick, and you're stressed out about it, and it's like, especially if you can't do much about it, it's like, again, the concept was, why spend $100 per animal to fix them when this $5 animal can be replaced for $5 at any other place you go to? In the case of the new rats that I just got recently today, right? A couple days ago, sorry, whatever. $10. $10 for all three animals. That's like $3 per animal. That's what the cost was when I was a kid per each rat. Lollipop Farm, man. There you guys go. That's the place to go if you're in Rochester, New York, if you want pet rats. Go to Lollipop Farm, guys. That's all I'm going to say at the moment. That's all I need to say. Yep. And you can tell they take things very seriously with their animals because they make you sign a contract. Although I don't think they'd be too upset if I said, look, you can't work on these guys if they're sick. Could you take them back? But again, I don't think they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be sick. I asked about why they were surrendered, right, to the shelter. Turns out someone had a baby from a female rat, just obviously old enough to have kids, right, from a pet shop, because some pet shops are a little bit goofy and they don't know how to separate their animals correctly or at the right time. So, or it could have been from a bad breeder who didn't catch it in time, had kids, females and males mixed. Rats they're very quickly ready to make more rats. Okay, that's the problem. So once you know you're male, you're female, you separate them. Females go in one spot, males go to a whole different tank. That's how it works. No hanky-panky. But nope, somehow hanky-panky happened, and this female ends up with 6 babies. All girls. Just my luck. I love female rats. Don't get me wrong, male rats are fine. They make good pets. But just one obvious thing that us males should know, our manhood is relatively small compared to the rest of our body size. But imagine this is your body, just your head. Let's say this is your body. On a rat, that manhood is at least like that big. Okay, the size of that circle right there, that's how big it is. And it protrudes probably about, I don't know, like that much. If this was their body. So when they're walking on you, crawling along on your arm or whatever, you feel this. You feel that. And as a guy, that's like a mental turnoff. I'm like, nah. So you will typically find online that female owners have male rats and male owners have female rats. Although that's not always the case. There's this woman who is great with her pet rats. She's amazing, better than I am, and she has female rats at the moment. She might also have male rats in another area. I don't know, but, you know. Guys, there's people online. They have dedicated rat rooms where it's like, this is your room. It's like an 8x8 box with a door, you know, where everything's rat-proof. So they have like an 8-foot-by-8-foot area to like play in. It's like their own playpen, their own living quarters, their own bedroom. Is what I'm getting at here, people. This house that we're in now, it's a rental. It's not ours. I don't own it. I've got to keep my animals contained. Okay? So any possible mess does not leave that box. When they leave droppings accidentally on me and it goes onto the floor, I immediately clean it up. That's it. Immediately. One did fall recently, got underneath the bookcase. I had to, check with a flashlight, make sure there's no droppings under there. Okay, nothing going on. Good stuff. Okay. And immediately, if there's anything, again, clean it up. Okay. Yeah, that's what else can I say, right? But anyway, 3 female rats from a litter of 6. Lollipop Farm says this is a 3-for-1, meaning you have to take all 3 for the price of 1. And I'm like, no problem. I've done 3 before. Typically, I've had 2 rats at a time. When I was starting off like an idiot with just 1, you learn that's not okay. You don't do that. Social animals, they go insane if they're just left by themselves. I had 1 or 2 that did go basically insane. Okay, one went so insane she developed a biting problem, and one would basically, when I would come home from work, you'd hear her ramming her head against the top of the tank because she knew I was home. Kind of like, get me out of here, hold me, play with me, anything. She's out of her mind, ballistic, right? So I'd go down there like chill out, I'm coming home, I'm going to the basement, pull her out of the tank, put her on my body, and she's immediately like, she's chill. Then she's chill. She's like, cool, good. So that's that. Oh yeah. But now, got 3. I think if I remember correctly, it happened one other time in my life. When I was much younger, living back in Henrietta. I had 2 female rats, and next door neighbor apparently has lots of pets. I remember seeing this girl with like a pet rabbit. She's walking it in her front yard. Okay, I figured it's just a rabbit. It's not just a rabbit. Go inside her house. Cat, maybe more than 1 cat. Rabbit. I'm looking around her room. Her room is like a miniature pet shop. I'm like, whoa. No wonder you want me to pick one up, because she's like, got this rat. Don't got time for it. Could you I'm like, no problem, you know. Good rat. She was really a good rat. Big girl. She was like a huge albino. She was like, at least, we'll say that big. Okay. Well, maybe like, size of my shoulder, basically. Length of my shoulder, including the tail. It's like, whoop. Big animal, Big. Nice girl, though. Really, really good rat. Amazing. Only problem is, I was lied to when I picked her up. She was like, "Oh no, she's young." No, 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 no. I remember holding her in my arms, and I'm like feeling her body, and it's like you can tell by the feel of the animal. It was an old animal. Had her for a short period of time. In that period of time, she proved herself to be a great companion for my other two rats. She liked them, got along with them, and they got along with her. Something happened one morning. I'm not sure what happened, and I go to her tank, and there's blood, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? And of course, the rat's dead, and I'm like, I don't know what happened, but yeah, that was a long time ago. But she was old, so how old, I don't know. But if someone's new to the rat ownership thing, they might think, oh, the rat's young, it's 2 years old. That's not young. In rat years, you're already talking about a senior citizen right there. 2 years, that's a senior. These girls, they're like in their early ages still. They're like maybe like, in human years, like 8, 9, 10 years old. Yeah, seriously. They're already ready to go. They're already ready to make more of themselves. Okay? They're already gone through puberty. That's it. By the end of this year, they're going to be, basically in human years, they'll be about my age. They'll be in the 30s. Year 2, at the end of year 2, senior citizens. By the end of year 3, you're lucky if they're still alive, because they'll be the equivalent of like a 90-year-old. If they live into year 4, that's like bonus. That's like bonus territory. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the oldest lived rat was like 5+ years old. I think it was a lab rat. I forget its name. But yeah, look it up. It's crazy stuff. On average, 2 to 3 years old. That's it. That's as far as they go. But yep, 3 new babies. I'm already feeling mentally better, less stressed, happier, chipper. You can tell I'm laughing, smiling, right? Hey. Happy Halloween, guys. This has been your Halloween special, and I'm sorry there will probably be no more Interstellar pilot videos. So, I regain my full motivation, I will probably resume this project I have on the back burner. It's for the Living Sword Ministries. It's going to be kind of like a grand presentation of universal salvation and all the basic verses behind its support and whatnot, and how I go from point A to point B. Okay, so if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Motivate me to finish it, get it done, and I'll work on it, and I'll get it out here. Okay. If you want to see more of the rats, let me know in the comments. I will get them on video as soon as I can. In the meantime, thanks for watching. See ya. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. Do hope you enjoyed. And if you didn't, go ahead and leave a big old fat thumbs down there. And please tell me why in the comments. And I will be happy to try to make a better video for you guys in the future. And as always, you know what to do. Please go ahead and leave any questions, comments, or polite constructive criticism down below. Thanks for watching.